I'm Trip Clark.
And I'm Tom Lang, and this is Open Throttle 360.
So Tom, we're at the NDRL, the National Dirt Racing League, $20,000 to win night at Roaring Knob Motorsports Complex.
Yeah, $20,000. That's a big check to write.
A lot of money.
But you know, that's not the only big race the NDRL has in our area. Coming up October 11th and 12th at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, their signature event, the Pittsburgher. The NDRL is sanctioning that, and they're paying some big money there.
That's a big night. I can't even imagine, what would I do with $20,000?
Would you consider buying some Steeler tickets?
I would think of some Steeler tickets. Speaking of Steeler tickets, we met one of the biggest Steeler fans you're gonna meet, and he lives in enemy territory. When you see a sweet custom car, it's easy to be distracted by the shine of the chrome or the depth of the gorgeous paint job. But like a Picasso or a Rembrandt, there's a story behind these paint jobs. Sometimes it's stories of resurrecting high school memories. Sometimes the stories are even more poignant. Here's one of those stories.
My name's Jared Menz. I'm originally from Westmoreland County, out here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was originally a red 73 Eldorado with broken out back window, and the floor was rotted out when I bought it, about 15 minutes north of LAX. And when I lived in Southern California, me and a few friends, we would dress up in black and gold gorilla suits, go out to Steeler bars and have a good time. And I thought, man, we need a car to go with it. And I actually did a little bit of research, and the largest production convertible ever made was Eldorados in this era, and that's actually how I chose the Eldorado. Yeah, the first time I did the car, it was probably 50-50 black and yellow. All of the stuff that was on the car, like the emblem and stuff, a lot of that was put on as decals. I just kind of wanted to get a layout of what I liked and what I didn't like, and I knew I was eventually going to have it repainted, and I saw some cars that Bruce Harvey did, and I was familiar with his work. I took it over to his shop, and he did some minor repair work for me, and I was really happy with it, so I went ahead and had him repaint the car. And my first proposal to Bruce was that he painted the decals and stuff that I wanted, but he actually proposed letting me have him repaint the whole car, and he classed it up significantly. You know, he did a lot more black, which makes it I think it makes it look a lot classier. And he also did the gold flick paint. And we just recently had the train horn put on. So anything that's the newest thing is regularly my favorite thing. Obviously the paint is gorgeous. It gets people's attention. But then when people are sitting there for a half hour and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe those symbols on the inside are backlit. Just the little detail. We took all the Eldorado emblems off and they all say Steelers. The hood ornament here, we had this custom made. It has the Cadillac oak leaves on it and the Steeler emblem in the middle. So it kind of keeps a little bit of the Cadillac, but this isn't a Cadillac. This is truly a Steeler car.
Most sports fans proudly wear their team's logo on a baseball cap or a hoodie. But what exactly makes Jared Menz put on his gorilla suit and hop in the driver's seat of his black and gold chariot?
You know, just to have fun. I like to go out and see people's reaction. I like to have fun with people, with the horn, the radio, the gorilla suit. I mean, it definitely gets attention. People love it. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's like the closest I'll probably ever experience in my life to being a rock star. 7 out of 10 people walk past it, get their cell phone camera out, take a picture. The guys at the valet at the hotel that I go to, they've told me that they've had $350,000 Ferrari sitting out over the weekend, and my car gets more pictures in a half hour than a Ferrari does in Pittsburgh in 3 days. There's a tremendous fan base of Steelers everywhere in the country, and even Raiders fans out there will be like, you know what, I don't like the Steelers, but that car is awesome. For the most part, even non-Steeler fans, maybe except for some Raven fans, respect the car, you know? I think about the only thing I could do in the city of Pittsburgh to get a ticket from a police officer would probably be drive with the mask on. I haven't attempted that yet. What's the gorilla suit have to do with the Steelers? Nothing. It's just fun.
Go Steelers!
Yeah!
Merci, thank you.
We've often heard that racing is in your blood. Well, when your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle, your dad, and half the people you run into at your family reunion are into racing, it's obviously part of your family and part of who you are. To the casual race fan, racing is something that happens Friday nights through Sunday afternoons. You show up, pay the admission, and go home until the next weekend. But to a lot of people in the racing community, racing never stops. It never has, and it probably never will. And it's the same whether you're on the road, the strip, asphalt, or dirt. For racing families like the Norrises from Sarver, racing, off-roading, and fast cars are simply part of their DNA. Among the racers in the Norris clan is Michael, who currently races dirt late models. He attended his first race at 8 weeks old. And by the time he was 5, when most kids are removing training wheels from their Schwinn, Mike was climbing on a quad and his love affair with going fast was in full swing.
We're at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway for opening day. A little chilly, but Mike Norris, I think you're going to heat things up for us pretty soon.
I hope so. That's our intentions.
I was looking at this car and I saw all these scuff marks on the side, and I asked you if they're from this year. You were racing in Florida earlier this year?
Yeah, we were. We went down and raced at Volusia Speedway Park in February, and we had a lot of fun and learned a lot, got a lot of seat time. You know, I could always use more of that.
So you are the defending track champion in super late models here?
Yep.
What do you see your challenges in trying to defend that championship?
Mainly just the competition. I mean, this area, there's a ton of good cars that run here weekly, and that's the main thing. As long as we can stay consistent and keep learning stuff and, keep up with everybody else, this sport is constantly evolving and just trying to keep up with everything.
One thing about PMS, it's got these big, long straightaways. You can build some real speed here.
Yeah, it's a really big momentum place. Like on a night like tonight, that it'll probably stay on the floor the whole way around. This is such a huge track, and that's one of the things I like most about it. And you keep your momentum up a lot down here, and especially when it's bitey like this. I wouldn't be surprised if we're doing about $120, $130 at the end of the chutes.
Now, when you go from one track to another, that they have different track conditions and configuration, is there more of a challenge for you as a driver or setting up your race car?
Kind of both. For me, a little bit of both. Like, say when we go to Lernerville, it's a completely different driving style than down here, in my opinion anyway. We go up there, you got to be much more freer with the car. It's a much more sling it in kind of place, and the setups are completely different. That's why we run two different cars, just because the amount you would have to change just to go from there to here, as an example, it's crazy. So it's very tough. I give the guys who do it, run the summer nationals and stuff like that, I give them a lot of credit.
And any true racing family will also tell you, the commitment level from friends and family knows no bounds. Best friends who spend day and night keeping your car on the track, moms and dads who feed and fuel the operation, sisters and girlfriends who lift you up and keep you focused, aunts and uncles who are there to help you out, and grandmas and grandpas who become your biggest cheering section on and off the track. Oh yeah, and the sponsors who make it all happen. Michael is currently the youngest late model driver to win both a feature and a championship at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. He won the championship in 2012 and fell just a few points shy of doing it again in 2013. And by all accounts, he's still a kid and has a long road ahead of him. A long dirt road, that is.
Looking for a one-stop shop for all your dirt, drag, asphalt, and road racing needs? Look no further than Hoosier Tire, Mid-Atlantic, and Precise Racing, the region's distributor for Hoosier tires, as well as street performance products, hardcore racing parts, and VP racing fuel. Precise Racing carries a wide range of parts and accessories for circle track, drag, street performance, and hot rods. Visit HTMA Precise Racing Products on Route 356 south of Lernerville Speedway and online at preciseracing.com. Make it fast, make it precise.
Feel the rush and witness some of the region's most exciting wheel-to-wheel racing action as the Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC Rush Dirt Late Model Series races to a speedway near you. Witness some of the nation's finest up-and-coming young drivers battle each other all summer long. Pittsburgh, Sharon, McKean County, The Rock, Roaring Knob, Allegheny Mountain, and Bradford Speedway. Bring the family and introduce your kids to our phenomenal group of racers. It's a new generation full of new young heroes. Check us out at rushracingseries.com and feel the rush.
We're at Roaring Knob Motorsports Complex for the NDRL Let's Get Dirty National Dirt Racing Tour. With me now is John Kennedy, the man behind the NDRL. John, why don't you give the viewers a little bit of an idea what it took to get the NDRL started?
Well, the idea all started at IMIS in December of last year in Indianapolis there, and I just started working really hard on it, and we announced that we were going to do these races in January at the Winter Extreme events in Tucson, which will be the start of our 2014 season here coming up.
So an idea that just came up in December, and you're on the track this year with some events already in the books. What kind of experience do you have in dirt racing that allowed you to do this so quickly?
I've got a pretty deep background in racing. I grew up around racing. My dad built cars when I was a kid. I've always been passionate about racing. I own a couple of late model teams that tour on a national series now, and I also manage with Chris Zuber a track up in Pennsylvania, McKean County Raceway for weekly events. So we've got a lot of irons in the fire.
Now this is your first season with the NDRL. What's coming up for the second season? What are we going to do new?
Well, we're expecting to do a lot more of the same next year. We've already got several races booked for next year. We haven't released any schedule formally, but we're going to start with 6 races in Tucson, Arizona in January for the Winter Extreme. Those won't be points races, but they'll be part of our season. We're probably going to end up with somewhere between 20 and 30 races in 2014, so it'll be quite a schedule.
Well, you're starting out in Tucson, Arizona, and you've got races here in Pennsylvania, so it's not just a regional series?
No, it'll be what I call semi-national, and really Tucson's mostly for fun, and we hope a lot of drivers come out there and support us, but our series schedule will probably be within a 10 or 12 hour radius of Indianapolis. That's the logistics we want to have for our season, and I think we'll have somewhere around 20-25 races in that area.
Well, on behalf of the racers and the race fans, I want to thank you for what you've done to promote dirt racing in this area. If you'd like to see some of the action from here at Roaring Knob Motorsports Complex, take a look at this. Back in 1807, Dutch land investors, the De Smeths, founded Smethport, PA. Little did they know that 200 years later, the same dirt that they stuck their stakes in would offer some of the best dirt racing that this area has to offer.
Today's McKean County Raceway, affectionately known as MCR, dates back to the early 1900s when it was formed as the McKean County Fair Association. It was built as a horse race track and fair buildings to attract farmers to display their produce and animals. The facility has seen its share of excitement through the years, including an incident in 1914 when a priest drove his car through an open gate onto the track and into a horse, where the horse, its rider, and the priest were all injured. Today, McKean County Raceway is under the very capable management of the National Dirt Racing League, or NDRL, where you can see some of the best super late model, open street stock, pure stock, and mini stock racing in the area, not to mention the wildly popular Rush Crate Late Model Series. The 1/3 clay oval in East Smethport's into its 100th year of providing some of the best racing action this side of the Mississippi. To learn more about McKean County Raceway, visit McKeanCountyRaceway.com.
Power the elements with Rain Eater all-season wiper blades. Experience the distinct performance advantages of our full line of aerodynamic frameless and full-feature traditional wiper blades. Proven quality and patented innovations continue to build our distinct brand and exceed customers' expectations. Low-profile design, clean, quiet wiper action, and all-in-one adapter. Rain Eater wiper blades, the best wiper blade in the world.
Best tires, parts, and service. Tire Town.
We're at Sharon Speedway for the Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC Rush Late Model Series. Joining me now is Will Thomas, one of the drivers in the series. Will, you didn't start your racing career out on the dirt, did you?
No, we raced the asphalt late models for quite some time. I don't really know exactly how long, but we ran up at Lake Erie Speedway and did a lot of traveling and stuff like that with the asphalt stuff. And unfortunately, we kind of saw the writing on the wall. The car counts were kind of dwindling. I grew up as a kid here, and my dad fielded dirt modifieds and sprint cars forever for Lou Blaney. So when we made the decision to come to dirt, it kind of feels like we're coming home.
The fact that your family was involved with Lou Blaney and then you race here at Sharon Speedway where the Blaney family's been here forever and now they're owners of the place, does that put any amount of pressure on you or make you feel like you fit in more, or how is that for you?
No, I probably put more pressure on myself than anybody does. When we first started doing it, I was pretty nervous. We worked real hard at the pavement stuff. We were fortunate. We won a lot of races in that. We won 3 championships in a row at Lake Erie. We won some MARA championships. So the fact I'm 37 years old, and when I decided, but I never started in full-size cars till I was a lot older than most of the kids today. I think I was 27 or 28, but we were fortunate enough to have some success. Well, then when you come to the dirt and you've never done it, you're like, well, I just don't really want to look like a jerk, you know, and regret the decisions. But it was tough at first. There was obviously some different learning curves and stuff like that. Max Blair and his dad Rob helped me out quite a bit in the beginning, and they're still good friends of mine. And Russ King, who's been a great friend of mine forever, he's helped me out forever in this deal and helps me out a lot today. So I try to surround myself with really good people. I don't know if it makes it easier for me or just puts more pressure on me, because then you don't have any excuses.
Was there anything you were able to bring from the asphalt racing to the dirt, experience-wise, that fit, or was it a whole new ball game for you?
It's a whole new ball game, but some of the stuff, probably my biggest strength on dirt is also my biggest weakness. I tend to drive these cars straighter than most guys. A lot of guys, you know, kind of get them in and bend them into the corner, and a lot of times when the track's heavier and stuff, that hurts me.
but when the track slicks off and stuff like that, it kind of ends up helping me. But there's so many different things. I try to be smooth, try to be patient, stuff like that, but I don't know how much it helps or hurt me or whatnot.
Do you see yourself staying in the Rush series, or do you look at maybe moving up to the Supers?
No, I'll probably stay doing this. Vicky's put together a nice program here. I live 5 minutes from here, so you know, obviously I'd love to be a professional race car driver, and it was a dream growing up as a kid, but most people don't pick up 37-year-old chubby guys to make a career out of driving. So we're having fun with it, and like I said, it's a really affordable deal. I'd love to run the Supers. Russ, I've talked to Russ a couple times about running one of his cars, so you never know for sure, but when it's my own equipment, we'll probably stay with this.
Now, you said you're 5 minutes from here. Does the family get to come see you race a lot?
Oh yeah, my wife's here every week. She's a big supporter, and my dad's here all the time. All my guys, Dennis Knight and Ray Gilbert and Tyler Barris with Barris Supply, they're here every week, so it makes it a lot nicer. And on the pavement side, you know, the closest place that we ran to home was Lake Erie, and then in a big rig, that's probably close to 2 hours for us. So
you gotta love being able to race at home in front of your friends and family and compete against people you love and respect. Wish you a lot of luck in this Rush series. Good luck the rest of the season, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Back in 1957, Ford produced a unique vehicle, a coupe utility called the Ranchero. It was so successful that it sparked the competitive juices of Chevrolet to produce the El Camino.
My name is Bobby Hazabine. This is my brother. I'm Dark Hazabine. I own a 78 Monte Carlo. And this is my 1983 El Camino. Did a bunch of work on it myself. I never paid anybody to do any work on it. I think that's pretty cool. It didn't have a motor in it when I had purchased it. The guy did all the did some body work and stuff on it, but it was a project that he lost interest and never finished. Got a 354 bolt out of a Suburban and dropped that into it. It has a 4-barrel carb, double roller timing chain. It got full-length tube headers, thrush dual exhaust system that dumps right before the rear end. True duals, no crossover or anything. It got a TH350 automatic transmission with a shift kit in it. I got a Hertz shifter on the floor so you can manually shift it if you want. The front end that's on it now is a Camaro El Camino conversion front end. It's out of California, I believe Choo Choo Customs, and it got vet taillights in the back and the Camaro front turn signals and everything out front. This is my second El Camino. I used to have a 78 and I bought that when I was 15. I really like them. My dad has an El Camino. I always enjoyed it and everything. I drive it daily though, because you gotta have fun with your car if you're gonna have a car. Whether we have a problem with either one of our cars, we're always there to help each other out and always want to lend a helping hand. Yeah, keeps them on the road longer.
The biggest weekend in the history of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway is October 10th, 11th, and 12th, as the NDRL sanctions the 25th Pittsburgher 100, $10,000 to win on Friday and $25,000 to win Saturday night. Not to mention $4,500 total to win for E-Mods and Rush Crates, a full fireworks show, driver autograph session, and a concert by country star Cody McCarver. Ticket and event information can be found at thendrl.com as the Pittsburgher 100 is back.
I live in Cranberry now, and I still come back to Kalmar Motor Sales because I feel that they give me the best deal on the vehicles that I'm interested in. They also have the absolute best service. Every time I walk in and out of that dealer, I feel I've made the best choice possible. So they go the extra mile for me, so I always go the extra mile for them.
There is a stigma attached to car shopping. People don't like to go to dealerships. They're afraid they're going to be pressured, trying to avoid the salespeople. That's just not the vibe you get here. It should be an enjoyable experience. You want to come in, you just want to relax, you look at the cars. At Kalmar's, that's what you're going to get.
I can't wait till Don Gamble sees this piece of GoPro action. We stole the #1 Cochran Rapid On Racing pace car to do our GoPro segment. If you've got any GoPro footage, whether you stole the car or not, Go to OpenThrottle360.com and follow the link to upload your footage. Let's go pro now. I gotta hurry up and get this car back before Dawn sees I took it.
Tom, wrapping up a beautiful night here at Roaring Knob Motorsports Complex. Great evening. It's hard to believe that the season's kind of winding down, and after tonight, we have one new episode before we take a break.
What's not winding down is the racing season. The NDRL will be at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway for the Pittsburgher, October 11th and 12th. You definitely need to be there for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night of racing, great way to kind of wind down the season. And as always, if you have any comments or suggestions for us, make sure you send an email to info@OpenThrottle360. Like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. See you next time here on Open Throttle 360.